All right, hello everyone. This is Alan from MysteryMTG.com. I'm not going to look at the camera because I'm driving here in South Korea. My wife is going to labor this month. I'll be back in Texas around the end of October. But I want to talk about Magic the Gathering in South Korea. So I'm a store owner in Texas. I've lived in Korea for 9 years and I have a family here. It's incredibly different. In Texas, our game store has Commander firing pretty much every day. And we also have a pretty easy time firing stuff like Pioneer, Modern. I think Standard is still pretty dead, but we can get drafts firing. And our pre-releases are pretty much packed every single time. But here in South Korea, Magic is, and I made a short about this, and I kind of wanted to expand on that. Magic is completely different in the sense that paper Magic is really dying. And I know I get pushback on this from other people in the community because they will go to a draft and it'll have five or six people, and I think you just have to look at the pre-release events. It used to be you would still get 20 to 30 people, and you would actually get a lot of Korean players as well. And nowadays, it feels lucky if I go and there are like 6 people at a pre-release, even at some of the biggest stores. And a lot of people just don't play as regularly as they used to, if at all. And some of the people who used to be pro players even have basically stopped playing paper Magic, and a lot of them have gone to MTG Arena. Actually, one of the employees at a big game store here basically quit paper Magic and basically just went over to streaming MTG Arena, which I thought was an interesting move. Didn't necessarily agree with that. I think streaming Magic is incredibly difficult to make a career out of, but it's just interesting. It's like in Asia, you would expect Magic to still be pretty popular. Very close to us, Japan is still a very vibrant and strong market for Magic the Gathering. But here in South Korea, it is struggling so hard. And honestly, it makes sense. They discontinued the Korean language. They stopped printing Korean language cards. So, of course, what does that mean for the Korean market? A lot of people here are good at English. I mean, they can speak English, but Korean cards help people get into the game. That's just, it's very irrational to think you can continue to support the game in a foreign market only in English when a majority of the population is not going to understand cards like Proliferate. They're not going to understand cards like Toxic. You need some sort of translation for them. At this point, for Korean players, they can still get that from older sets. They can no longer get that from newer sets. I find that to be very disappointing. And it's unfortunate, but that is the way it is. And the language has already been discontinued. So, sorry about the Korean navigation, by the way. You guys are going to keep hearing that. But for future sets, I wonder if basically the market is kind of left to die. It's a shame. There are some pretty cool stores here, and it seems like people did take the game very seriously at some point. But nowadays, it is just a shadow of what it once was here in South Korea. When I first came 9 years ago, the groups were plentiful. The Commander group definitely fired, and people were just a lot more excited about it. So there you go. If you're coming to South Korea, just really understand that you will probably not get to enjoy an event that is as populated as, say, an event you experienced in San Francisco or in Texas or wherever, basically. Here it's just, and I've been to a lot of countries, I've been to a lot of different LGSs, and like if you go to a Singaporean LGS just on a random day, it was crowded, it was plentiful, and it wasn't like a WPN premium store, it was just a random store. But if you come to Korea, you'll just notice that doesn't really exist. I can't remember the last time I went to an LGS, and I live here, and it was packed, which is so depressing. It is so depressing that it once was that good, and it no longer is. So I do find that to be not the best. But anyway, Alan from Mystery MTG. I just wanted to talk about, some of the issues. And I'm going to have to U-turn here. So we're going to end the video here, and I will see you guys next time. Alan from Mystery MTG. Bye-bye.